And hi, everybody. It's Tim Razor, the Chief Investment Strategist here at River Asset Management, just after 3:30 on a Monday night, a very big Monday night, a big sell-off reversal Monday, and I want to take a look at that with you here. But before I do that, I want to say thank you. An amazing stat came to light to me this morning when I was doing just the normal tidying up I do before the market day starts, getting ready for my work week. And all the videos that we produce, especially this one here, the video podcast, is becoming just absolutely positively the most popular thing that we do each and every week. These videos, normal videos, they get a ton of attention, but this video podcast, because it's more teaching, it has more macro stuff in it, and it's practical as well. Not that these videos aren't practical, but it combines. It's just longer form, and it allows us to expand and deliver you more value. It's just a hugely popular product. And if I come up here, the last 30 days, stock nerds and market lovers across the globe have spent 41 days, 1 hour for, well, it's been a little bit more now, have spent an enormous amount of time watching our content. And it's July. It's the summertime. It's July, and it's amazing. We keep growing because of you, and it's a huge thank you. Just a huge thank you to you. We're so grateful because of you. You send your friends and family to us. Our shop grows, our universe grows, and we get better because of you. And hopefully we're helping make you better as well. And so if you have any questions, concerns, comments, take umbrage with anything I'm saying, there I am, Tim at RevereAsset.com. There's the portfolio extraordinaire, Don Vandenborg, and America's fiduciary, Danny Stewart, 855-732-5932. If you'd like the strategies to which we espouse here in the videos, and whether you become a client or not, ask your questions. Don't hesitate to do so, because we're not going to hound you. We want to empower individual investors. And we know that you will talk so highly of us when we empower you and help you hopefully find success in the markets that we'll grow. And that's been our mantra since we started here. So if you want to get a hold of me, the easiest way to do it is follow me on Twitter at TJ Razor. Let me know you did. I'll follow you back. And then you can message me, and I take messages. I answer them as soon as I can. My inbox fills up at tim@revereasset.com. And so just Twitter seems to be very quick because it's brevity. And so appreciate it if you give me a follow there. And then let's see here. These videos are for what? Your edification purposes only. They're never ever to be misconstrued as advice. If you need advice, if you want advice, seek advice, please just call us at 855-732-5932, or you can just go to the Revere Asset page and look us up there. Now, huge reversals today. So let me just show you the day's reversals. We'll put this on a 5-minute chart. So you can see we hit a high just after 10:30 in the morning European close. Let me get all this down. 11,058, and you can see just how big of a reversal that was this afternoon. So tremendous reversal here for, say, the Nasdaq and the S&Ps. And then you can see here how about the YMs, and then the RTY, the two weakest of the indices. Yep. And so here's the interesting thing about this. Like if I come down, let's start with the S&Ps, and I bring this to a daily chart. Is this the start of something bigger? Could be. These reversals, they might be. Or is this just a normal pullback back to the 8 area right here? The market's pulled back to the 8. Maybe too. And so I mean, this is a little bit of a topping tail. I just don't want to read into things. I'll show you what we did today in the shop. I bought a little bit more protection. Actually bought something this afternoon and sold something. And I'll go over that here momentarily. This, Joe, to me it's ops normal, and maybe we get a normal pullback here to 3,100, which is the 21. And would that make this a bearish chart? No. When now we start closing below 21, that's a different story. If you look at the NQs, we pulled back to the 8. Is this where we bounce? Look, this market is not a normal market, and so I just think you use size as your weapon when you're trading and investing, and you understand where you are in time and space. I remain short the Russell, continues to be a weak indice, and I remain short the Dow. continues to be a failure here again at the 200-day. And so you can see here, reached above the 200-day. And I typically wait to the end of the day to make my decisions when I'm doing things. And today was the case, and you can see that worked out pretty well in doing so. So why am I not all up in arms about today's move yet? And I say yet. The VIX, and the VIX has 8 or 9 days left on it, the current month's contract, which is the July contract. 31.96 is where we're at. We've covered the inversion in a number of videos. If you've missed any of that talk, just refer back to Friday night. Refer back to this. If you're new and you need a brush up on the inversion and why it's such a big deal, what I want you to do is go to Revere Asset and just watch this video. And we get into the VIX inversion here. Some sell-off. We do sell-off signals in the video podcast this week, and so I think you'll really enjoy it. But we're not inverted. A number of you might think we are, but we're not yet. I say yet because that could always change, but that's still normal pricing. And when I see normal pricing and pullbacks on the two leading indices to bullish EMAs, or the 8 here in this case, I just take it in stride. Big reversal though. I mean, don't misunderstand me. That is a big reversal, and so it is options expiration week. Anything can happen. We were extended, and I want to do this for a fellow market lover and stock nerd that asked me with the ATR charts. I'll show you the setup here with the Keltner channel. So, but I told you that when we get up to this third ATR, you typically see some pullback action in here. Third ATR, you got some pullback. Didn't even really get up to the third ATR, and you got some pullback. Is this all the pullback the market has in the NASDAQ? I don't know. But you can see S&Ps didn't really get up there. They don't have to get up there, but you just want to know where you are in time and space in your own trading and investing, and you want to do your best to keep the gains that you have. And so let me show you the study. So if you're in Thinkorswim and you're looking for these ATR charts, it's not, you got to set them up yourself and come to Edit Studies. And you can pause the video here. You can take a look at how they're set out, but that's what you need to do to set those charts up. And if that doesn't itself clear them up, you can come here to the gears, and you can see it's just, that's how the factor is important there. And you can see the factor is 1, 2, and 3. I'm using a 21. It keeps reverting back to simple. It should be exponential, but simple gets the job done here as well. And so that's all that's to it. It's nothing too magical there, but it does allow you to see whether or not you're extended. And you can see third ATR on the S&Ps, and boy, that was that big 1800 drop pullback. Well, look, we've been talking about this clearly. Another 800 point drop in the making. Timing for a market sell-off. This chart will cause tears for some bulls. And it's not just constantly coming back to the same theme. It's me looking at this put-call ratio chart, looking that everybody is bullish. Well, how do you know everyone's bullish? This 10-day moving average, the put-call ratio, is at one of the lowest points it's been since before that big 800 point drop pullback, and quite frankly, back to February, before you started to see the sell-off in March with COVID. And so, look, does history repeat itself here? I mean, anything is possible, okay? But I do think there are some established winners in this market that you also want to be cognizant of too. And so, what are the winners in a COVID market? So let's come here and let's look at, say, the Netflix. We own Netflix, okay? And so, yeah, Netflix, huge reversal, 570. I mean, that's a 50-point reversal in Netflix today. And it's still not down to we'll just call it the zone of the 5. What does that look like on an average true range chart? Yeah, it just came back to the third ATR. I don't know if it comes back more tomorrow. Maybe it does if the market sells off. It's a stock like any other stock. Reports this week on Thursday. And so is this all 50-point reversal is a big reversal, but if you look at Amazon, like what leading stocks did here, just pulled back to the 5. Those have been the leaders in the COVID market. I don't know how much of a break you get more on these stocks. You could get a deeper pullback if the market gets weak, setting price on stocks, follow the general market's trend. If the trend is lower, it's a really hard place to be picking that 1 out of 4 stocks that continues to make new gains. But Amazon and Netflix probably winners in another round of shutdowns if that's what's happening. And then Shopify is something I actually picked up today. It's been a while since you've had an opportunity around the 21. Maybe we come down a little bit lower, but I picked up Shopify. Danny and I did in the shop around 965-ish. So we'll keep an eye on that. But that's a stock that I think continues to win. Now, it doesn't matter what I think. If the market environment is it deteriorates, but look, I got this 6% lower today, and so when it says, well, you're waiting for your pitch, my pitch is the 21, and if it starts wanting to close down here, I don't need to be a part of that. And so I'll just sell it and I'll take the loss, just like I took a really small loss in Ring. Ring doesn't act well here. And where Ring, I was looking for Ring, it caught itself at the 21 on Friday, and I was okay with that. Today it did not, and so I got a really small loss in Ring here, 2.29%, 2.29% on Ring, and so no big thing. And so just take the small loss and move on. This is a much different chart than the Shopify chart, and so if Ring would have found itself at the 21 again, I would have held it. But it didn't even hold the 50. It just got caught up in whatever is happening with the NASDAQ and all the high flyers. And I don't own in the stock and ETF portfolios, I don't own a Fastly or what else, LVGO. These are big time winners, but those aren't really bearish charts. They just pulled back. And so it's normal ebb and flow as a market. And what I always think of in these times, the market's going to shape, or the news is going to shape the narrative around whatever price action. That's why we always say first price, then news. Price happens, well, this is why X, Y, Z is happening. And so you just want to be cognizant, though, that, okay, S&Ps have pulled back. Could they pull back to the 21, which would be completely normal? Yes. Could the NASDAQ pull back to the 21, which would be completely normal? The answer is yes. Like, here is this beautiful flat base that's been forming in the weekly S&P 500, and it's just oscillating. It's just oscillating. It's working off. It's figuring out supply and demand, and eventually when there's not enough supply to meet demand, it pops this way, or if there's too much supply and not enough demand, it breaks this way. But understanding all of that, I just think is a big deal here. And so do you flush your entire portfolio? I don't think you do. I think you just, and I bought some more. I did buy some more protection though, because I've got some stocks that I do want to try and keep. I bought QID. Now you don't take your signals off of this chart. So bought a small position in QID, which is a double NASDAQ double bearish NASDAQ ETF. You take your signals off of here. And so if the NASDAQ does want to pull back to the 21, well, then that QID is going to go higher. Now, if the NASDAQ wants to trade sideways and then eventually work its way higher, sell the QID. And so that's just me getting in a little insulation for some of the NASDAQ stocks that I have. But this week, the story is not written on this week. And for me to tell you that we're going lower, I don't know that. And for me to say that this is a pullback you buy, I don't know that either. I think the markets are going to figure it. They're going to shake out the weak hands. They're going to shake out the weak hands, and then they'll figure out where they want to go and what they want to do. But to project your opinion into what you see today, I believe, is it's a really tough deal. And some other stocks I think that can end up leading here, like if you look at Chipotle, just closes in and around that 8 area. I don't know if it needs a trip to the 21, but this is a stock that I think possibly is one of those winners. And then, but look, great news on housing today. People moving out to the suburbs. MTH gets caught up again in the selling, but holds the 8. That's a bullish chart. DR Horton, no, not DRI. I do this every time. DHI, DR Horton Industries. That's a bullish chart. I always want to type in Darden Restaurants versus DRI. That's a bullish chart. And so, yeah, I like that. How about Dexcom. That is questionable here. I mean, that's a big old drop today, but let's see if it holds this zone. And then if I look at the average true range chart, yeah, what did it come back to? Came back to the mean. And so just a bunch of where you are in time and space and how are you going to handle it. But if you are, if you got 40% today in a stock like Amazon, you love this morning and you hate the afternoon, and if you've got, if you're levered up in Boeing, maybe you love the morning, but you didn't like the afternoon, or face, or whatever your stock is du jour. And so that's why I've been advocating, you take 2.5% positions potentially, you take 5% positions max in stocks, and then ETFs 10% positions or even less in this environment while the market was extended, and you keep rotating. You keep rotating the velocity of money. I sold Chegg on Friday. Because it got in that zone. It got in that zone of the third ATR, and we did that on the video with you, the video podcast, so you could see it happen, the decision making in real time. And so yeah, we sold Chegg, and now it's down 6% today. But again, that didn't even reach the mean. And so there's some really strong stocks out there that just need to catch their breath. And then when the dust settles and the narrative is written about this week, we'll see where they want to go. But right now, I see it as normal, but that doesn't mean it can't overshoot to the downside either. So like I said, I think you just want to be really careful about casting your aspersions about what's going to happen with them. You can get really whipsawed as well. I'm trying to say that you can get extremely whipsawed by getting offsides this market. And I always talk about this when I do, it's okay to be wrong once, right? You can be wrong once, but if you start, if you're all bullish today, right, we'll just say A, B, and then you sold everything, and then you're all bearish, and I'll draw a bear as a bear, right? Bear. Bears have 2 ears, right? That doesn't look anything like a bear. God, I suck at drawing. But if you're just all bearish right here, and then the market, the market wants to whipsaw you and go all bullish up higher, you've been offsides twice. And so there's a lot of people that trade like that. Some of you are going to say, what the hell are you talking about? Yeah, you do suck at drawing, and I don't even know where the hell your thought process is. I just have a lot of people that message me on Twitter and email me, and it's real easy to get offsides in this environment if you're trading larger size. And so what I always advocate people to do is trade smaller size. Know where you give yourself the gift of time if you're trading options, and know where you are in time and space. And so here's Netflix. I don't know if this is where you sell Netflix, right? But right now, I plan on holding Netflix in earnings if this is what the chart looks like. Now, if it sells off down here, right, and you report in the earnings, well, maybe that's a different story. Maybe I want to take my chips off the table. Who knows? I've got rules for earnings. We'll get into that. We'll get more into those rules as we get closer to the big release here with Netflix on Thursday. And I'll explain to you my criteria, what I'm looking for. Expected move wise and gain wise, and what helps me make a decision is whether to stay or go in a stock when it's about to report. So hopefully you find all that interesting. Don Vandervoort is the video tomorrow night, and we'll get into more of this on Wednesday. So with that, I will see you at the next update.